we're going into the medieval heart of Portugal. Penella is a hilly farming region known for its vineyards, olive groves and hilltop towns with roads designed for horse and cart.
Maybe we'll get into less trouble on foot. That's a lovely view. Isn't that gorgeous? Too perfect to be real.
It is.
Built as a second home for a British couple seeking a change of pace, our next house delivers exactly what they were looking for. Fresh air, magnificent views and plenty of space. This dramatic holiday home, set in a former olive grove, is hidden behind a simple rustic entrance. Beyond the traditional facade, Casa Na Gateira dramatically reveals itself.
This house is so embedded in the landscape that you can only really understand its unconventional snake-like shape from the air. Time now to see how it works inside. This is presumably the same levels, the same shape that the landscape had before there was a house here. You know, if you followed this outside, this terrace would continue through.
In exactly the same way that the olive trees are grown, the olive trees would be, only we're here instead of the olive trees. You're literally following the profile of the land all the time.
I mean, you know, you would never design a kitchen with a step in the middle of it. But actually, that probably was the level of the ground. They've decided to keep that terrace visible, which is beautiful.
And it works for a space.
It really does work.
And it leads you to what must be the main event, this extraordinary view.
The challenge for the architect was to build a house that stepped down the hill with the existing terraces. This has resulted in its unusual form. At the highest point is a garage, a small gym, and a guest bedroom. The staircase leads down to the other levels with an open kitchen, living room, and dining space. Beyond is the main bedroom and another one for guests. By separating each part of the house, all of the rooms are given access and views to the outdoors.
Appropriately, in a region known for its wine, the architects have used cork on some of the walls. A local material with a complex texture and soft to the touch, it looks great. The use of cork in this house is absolutely right, because cork has been harvested in Portugal for over 300 years. And it's done manually because they haven't found a mechanical way of doing it. So people have been slicing the bark off these trees and using it in their homes. You can come through your wardrobe, your dressing room, open this little secret door, sneak out there and have a cup of coffee. And in the bedroom, very, very simple. Just pure white design, mandatory panda. Another lovely outside space. The sunshine.
The geometry of this house is complex and difficult to understand at first glance, but if you draw the landscape, the house makes total sense.
This rural retreat was built for British couple Neil and Shirley, and they used an appropriately 21st century method to build a very modern home. Why did you decide on Portugal?
Research online showed that there was land available here that was affordable. There were good architectural practices. We didn't want golf courses and beaches.
No.
And we wanted vineyards, hills, mountains, countryside.
Views.
And that's really why we ended up here. One of the reasons for the shape is the two guest bedrooms have got their own little corridors. So during the day, we can be together all we like, but in the evening, people get peace and quiet. So that's partly how we've ended up with this kind of three-headed snake.
Why did you want to build a contemporary house?
Just an opportunity to build a living space from square one.
The architects Vasco and Patricia have come to talk to me about their approach and how they designed the house. Your clients were two British people that had never really spent any time here. How was that as a process for you?
They specifically chose Gateira because they were not familiar with it. And they want to have this balance and come close to nature, and then they can have loads of space for each room. Inside the house and throughout the house, then they understood that it could be very simple on top of the landscape. When we arrived here, it was all here. I mean, the vineyards were beautiful to look at.
Casa Na Gateira is clearly the result of successful and happy collaboration between architects and clients. Neil and Shirley clearly enjoy all the simple pleasures that Portugal has to offer.
And I really appreciate how they've worked with the architects to make a house that isn't ostentatious and responds to this ancient landscape.